What should we do about 50 Cent? Lights up, mics up. Let's get those likes up. Hit that subscribe. 50 Cent is performing. He's performing at Donald Trump Jr.'s 250th anniversary, the America's anniversary at Donald Trump Jr.'s members-only elite MAGA nightclub, and 50 Cent is unapologetic about it. He hasn't said a word, but let's talk about it. I want to understand what's going on over there in G-Unit world, right? I think 50 Cent is seeing the bigger picture. He could stay with us and make us happy and stay in our good graces and try to kind of placate us, but it's no money in that, gang. It's no money in that. 50 Cent just did what he declared was his last tour, right? He doesn't really need you for the shows anymore. Doesn't need you to watch Power anymore because you're already watching it, and it's enough of other people watching that too. So what does he really need to keep bending over backwards to please us? I don't think 50's there no more. I think 50 Cent is going with his true nature. It's a Republican nature, and he's going for the bigger picture, right, as they say. I think the influence and stature is calling him, and he realizes they are willing to welcome him into that space with open arms because of what he can bring with them. He can bring that coolness factor. He can bring that New York swagger. He can bring that I'm a rapper that people love. He can bring those songs that people love. I just found out today that when they used Many Men, that he had no problem with it. He was actually encouraging it and had to tell people to stop telling them to stop using it because he wanted that record to go up. He said it went up several 100%, and he gets a nice little check when that record goes up. So 50 Cent was all too eager to have the He Who Shall Not Be Named, the Trump administration, use his music, and he'll do so again, right? He has a strange history with this political situation that he finds himself in because one minute he's not in it, next minute he's all in it, and we don't know where really 50 Cent stands other than where the money is. It's really a 1990s hustling mentality. We see it all the time. People like Dame Dash and others, they still got this 1990s hustler mentality, get that money by any means. That's why a lot of people started to idolize Donald Trump back then in the 90s because it was it looked like a get money guy. Let's do what he does so we can get rich too. We want to act like him and emulate him. Well, right now, gang, it's way too serious to try to pretend like we want to emulate and act like Donald Trump or any of his sons. We are in a different type of era where those actions have consequences, and a lot of people get hurt behind the things that this administration does here and abroad, okay? So we cannot be linking up arm in arm just because they're going to promise us a check. But 50 Cent has never been one to do things for the greater good. It has always been about 50 Cent and his bottom line and the way he gets paid, okay? And we've seen this forever, that there has been nothing above 50 Cent's pay grade where it comes to him trying to figure out a way to get that next check. We've always seen it, and it hasn't gone anywhere. We've seen a lot of people get stepped on and never looked back to make 50 go forward. I'm just going to be honest. Now, we have overlooked a lot because 50 is a troll, and he has made us laugh over the years, and he's done so much stuff, just like this administration, that by the time you react to one thing, he's already done 3 more. It's like controlled chaos. So we really can't cancel or stand on anything with this guy because he's over there. It's a very unique shell game. And you got to try to figure out which shell 50's on. Meanwhile, he's under none of them because he already done moved while you're sitting there trying to pin him down. He takes a lot after this guy. I believe that this guy lockstep and barrel with what this guy's administration is all about. It's about money. It's about manipulation. It's about trolling. It's about controlling the narrative. A lot of that stuff goes along with what 50 already represents, right? So all of this, we're not with MAGA. We're trying to get them out of office, and we can't wait till this term is up. And I can't count the days. They can't come fast enough. This, that, and the third that we're doing over on this side, right? Wham. Well, he's not really on this side. He's shown us that plenty of times. He says he don't want to talk about politics, but then he takes this gig. So let's talk about it. I want to read this article and have a full-on conversation about where and why and how 50 is now going to be performing at the America's 250 when a few years ago he said he don't want nothing to do with politics. Okay? He said he don't want nothing to do with it because of look at Kanye West is what he said. Well, Kanye West is doing pretty good, gang. So right now, all of that, stomping my feet I was doing over the past couple years, and you went nowhere because Kanye is selling out shows right here on American soil, let alone overseas. When they don't cancel the show, it's packed completely out. So it's really no consequences for Kanye West at this point. He made one little apology, and voila, he's back in the mix of things, right? So we're seeing all of those consequences. They've disappeared, gang. They're non-existent. So 50 Cent is very astute, gang, and he sees that all of that job y'all talked about Kanye West online, you was canceling him, you was mad that he said this, that, and the third, and you was mad about them tweets. Well, all that stuff is vamoose, gone. It's a puff of smoke because Ye don't even tweet no more. He don't have to say a word. He just booked these shows, and you guys sell out the tickets. So it's really no reason to be scared of politics because right now you can go all the way in and still make a bag. We just saw Nicki Minaj switch up. We saw a whole bunch of people switch up and they're doing okay. So 50 looked around and like, hold up, they didn't cancel Nicki? They didn't cancel Ye? Well, shit, I might as well get out here and get some of this shmoney too. And not to mention Busta Rhymes, Ja Rule, and other people are getting their money, right? So let's have this conversation and talk about why 50 is, look, we're looking at him sideways, but as a people, if we're not going to do nothing about it, it don't even matter. Okay? Let me have this conversation. The secret performer at Don Jr.'s MAGA Millionaire Club is exposed, right? What I believe is this was supposed to be a secret. He knew it was going to get out at some point, but I don't think he wanted it to, because people have performed and it has went under the radar. I think he took this check and was like, I'll go perform because it's a private club. These people pay $100,000 to be members of this thing. It's not something where you're just going to go buy tickets. No one in there will be someone that doesn't have a stature or some type of notable name to be in this place to be hush-hush about it. And let's just be honest, they're not even going to be, who are these people? These people are not even going to be paying attention to 50. They're not going to be saying, oh, they're not going to be paying attention to his show. They're going to look up there. He's almost going to be a glorified trophy. Look who we got. These people are old that's going to be in their gang. They're going to be old people. Just like when Tom Brady brought Jay-Z out to perform at his, when he received, I believe he went to the Patriots Hall of Fame or something. He brought Jay-Z out. They were looking at him like, okay, okay, this is nice. Who is that? Like, they didn't care. And I think this is the same thing. He's almost a trophy. They're booking him as a trophy, gang. But let me continue. This article is by Laura Esposito for the Daily Beast. 50 Cent will perform at Donald Trump Jr.'s members-only MAGA Club on the eve of America's 250th anniversary. And think about America and the 250th anniversary, what that means to us. It ain't really that great, gang. I'm just going to be honest. Let me continue. The Grammy Award-winning rapper will take the stage at Executive Branch, the swanky Georgetown club co-owned by the president's eldest son, on July 3rd. Trump Jr. opened the club with, which charges an annual membership fee of $500,000, right? Alongside financiers Omid Malik and Christopher Buskirk of 1789 Capital. So 1789 Capital is a firm. We're going to get into that. I'm going to read a little more about that. But these three guys, they're about money. They're not playing. And they got a whole lot of powerful people coming in there paying $500,000 just to be in there. 50 Cent want to get into that room. There's certain rooms that you want to get into. Black, white, yellow, whatever you want to be. They got certain rooms that you want to get into if you want to rub noses and shake hands and kiss babies and this, that, and the third, right? Amass your wealth and amass your power and increase your Rolodex. There's certain rooms you want to get into. This is a room 50 Cent would love to be in. Before, during, and after the performance, shaking hands, just meeting people, right? Rubbing elbows. This is where 50 Cent wants to be. This, gang, you got to understand, this ain't about the initial check. And I really think he's getting paid for this little performance. I'm going to be honest. I would say 50 Cent, this ain't no average paycheck, dog. Because he know the hit he going to take out here. This ain't no average paycheck. He claims they offered him $3 million before and he turned it down. This got to be more than that. Everybody got a price, so they say. Everybody got a price. This price ain't no $500,000. This ain't no $500,000 check. I guarantee you that, gang. This is something serious. And he get in that room, it could get even crazier because now you're talking with super yacht money. 50 got money, but the people in this room throwing $500,000 just to go to this club and smoke cigars, they got more money. Okay? They writing the checks that's writing his checks. Okay, so he would love to get in there and throw that smile and throw that pinky ring up and talk to these people and let them know that I'm not so different from you. We're not so different, you and I. Let me continue. So first, I'm going to tell you more about 1789 Capital. 1789 Capital found itself under the microscope over its ties to Trump Jr., who has conveniently named a partner in the same month that Trump won the 2024 U.S. presidential election. According to Reuters, nearly a year after the election, the once low-profile venture firm saw its assets skyrocket from $150 million to over $1 billion. So these are the people that's running this situation with this nightclub, right? And these are the people who have benefited from Trump winning the election. There's a lot of stuff going on behind it. This money pushing money to other people. We just saw them give these contracts about the what was it, the pond, the thing that they got, the green fungus. They gave that pond. That was an insider contract. They giving it to people who don't even have the qualifications, right? So the reflection pool, they're working amongst themselves. They are making each other rich, and 50 wants to get his hand in that pot. So this is another situation of they went from 150 million to over $1 billion when this guy joined their firm. So let's keep talking, right? They made him partner. 1789 Capital benefited from recent investments in SpaceX, XAI, and Neuralink, all of which were founded by Elon Musk, who met with Malik while Trump was on the campaign trail. The connections to Trump through his eldest son have raised concerns over a conflict of interest among government ethics specialists. These are the people 50 want to get in bed with. These are the people that 50 knows it's a whole different level of money. You saw that. I just told you they went from 150 million to $1 billion messing with the Trump name. 50 knows where that money is at, and right now it don't really matter if he get in bed with him, because all you guys gonna do is get mad on Twitter, right? So at the end of the day, he knows where this is not just about one show game. You gotta understand, this is about getting a whole different tax bracket, okay? Those close to the firm tell Reuters that its portfolio includes defense contractors and other companies that could profit off of its potential ties to the government. 1789 Capital further expanded with the launch of the executive branch last year. So the executive branch is the venue, right? That's the name of the club that 50 is going to perform at. $500,000 just to be a member in this place. And I'm sure they got mad members, gang. And you got to understand, one member paying for this space. So the rest of the money, cakewalk, gang. This is a whole nother level. Okay, let me continue. A person with ties to the executive branch told the Daily Beast that 50 Cent's performance follows other rappers headlining the club, including Busta Rhymes, Ja Rule, and Timbaland. Now, like I said, this might have was supposed to be a secret because I don't know if we knew that those other guys performed. I'm not sure if those got out. So you got to understand, this may have been a secret performance that kind of got out. Because I don't know, maybe we all knew, maybe most people knew that Busta, Ja Rule, and Timbaland performed there, but I don't remember hearing about it. It's a private club. So this may be some kind of leak, and 50's kind of getting railroaded, but it's not getting railroaded because he chose to do it, okay? The scheduled performance comes after 50 Cent made headlines in 2024 for revealing on The Breakfast Club that he turned down $3 million to perform at Trump's rally in Madison Square Garden in New York. You got to think, he didn't want to do a $3 million show out in the open, but this is in a quiet, controlled atmosphere, right? It's a different animal. I don't think his heart has changed. I think it's a better situation. I think it's more money and less of a profile, right? Let me continue. Quote, "I'm afraid about politics," he said in October 2024. "It's because when you get involved in it, no matter how you feel, someone passionately disagrees with you." He was thinking smart, but I don't know how serious this was. I think he was at the time just trying to protect his ass, right? But I don't know if he really don't get involved with politics like that. It might be on some donors list. We don't know what's going on, but let's continue. He then vowed he was done weighing in on politics altogether, citing Kanye West's fall from grace as an example of why. Quote, "That's the formula for the confusion that sent Kanye to Japan. He said something about politics, and now he can only go to Japan." Well, gang, since that comment, and you know, if you watch this channel, I have been covering Kanye for a while, and I was in that conversation of Kanye can't perform nowhere. He can only perform in Japan. Well, since then, He wrote a whole apology to, I believe, the Wall Street Journal, and all of a sudden, all the gates and doors have opened back up, and the conversation is, well, why can't he perform, right? He has been performing in way more places than just Japan. He's performing right here in the good old USA and back in Europe, of all places. So, end of the day, we're seeing a whole shift of the narrative, and 50 Cent is seeing it too. When he said that about Kanye, yeah, I don't know why 50 patterns a lot of stuff about Kanye. A lot of stuff in his life, he kind of, he brings up Kanye way more than he should. But he looked at it and said, look at what Kanye's going through. That was 3 years ago. 2026, Kanye's everywhere he want to be. So 50's looking at that too. He's like, what really happened to him? He had to lay low for a little bit. Now he right back making his money. So he still got his deal, this, that, and the third. He went independent. He's still getting mentioned with the great. So what really happened to him? Actually, nothing. Let's be honest. We talked about him, got mad at him for a little bit. Now he back on the stroll. But let me continue. While 50 Cent has not commented publicly on Trump's politics, his appearance at the executive branch appears to signal a change of heart on his part. The club has become a gathering place for well-connected figures within and around the Trump administration. Members reportedly include White House artificial intelligence advisor David Sachs, crypto investors Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and State Department Undersecretary Jacob Hellberg. Former Rep Mike Gallagher has also been said to frequent the club as a guest. Donald Trump, it is also served as a post-dinner destination for Donald Trump and others following major White House events. In November, it hosted an after-party following a visit by the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince, Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins, Federal Trade Commission Chair Andrew Ferguson, Senators Ashley Moody of Florida and Dave McCormick of Pennsylvania, and Mehmet Oz were among those in attendance. All right. The Executive Branch Club operates behind an unmarked entrance in Georgetown. Georgetown is my stomping grounds. Back in the day, you thought you was real fly when you got to take somebody down to Georgetown. I wonder if that ice cream shop's still down there. I forgot the name of it. Something about Swinson, something. But I wonder if that's still down there in Georgetown. Anyway, I digress. The Daily Beast political newsletter, The Swamp, was the first to reveal that it was located below a drab shopping and housing complex called Georgetown Park, in the former home of a billiards bar. For his part, 50 Cent has a history of shifting his stance on Trump. In 2019, the rapper told the Daily Beast that Trump offered him $500,000 to attend his inauguration, but that he turned it down because every dollar is not a good dollar. Then the following year, he voiced support for Trump before later tweeting, F Trump, I never liked him, reversing course and backlash. So 50 going to play whatever side of the fence it pays that day. He going to switch it up. One day it's F Trump, then one day it's he's not so bad, right? So it's whatever the consensus is online. He acts like he doesn't care, but he does pay attention to what you guys are tweeting. Now, apparently, you guys aren't tweeting enough to make him not do this concert. But let me continue. The Daily Beast has contacted 50 Cent's management for comment on his upcoming performance. Apparently, they didn't respond. While Trump Jr.'s exclusive club has landed a major headliner, the same cannot be said for the president's Great American State Fair. On Friday, Vanilla Ice's Freedom 25 performance was abruptly canceled due to weather. Okay? The cancellation was one in a series of setbacks for Freedom 250, the organization spearheading celebrations for America's 250th birthday. All right, they had Young MC, Milli Vanilli, CNC Music Factory, but everybody backed out except for Vanilla Ice. We all know that story, this, that, and the third. But there are other guys who were a part of that. I believe Busta, not a part of that, but Busta Rhymes and Ja Rule and Timbaland also performed at this particular venue. And we're trying to figure out what's wrong with doing so, right? What's wrong? I was like, Charles, you tell people all the time, you're not with MAGA, this, that, and the third, and you explain yourself, but I'm not sure that they understand what's really on the line. So I pulled up a little dissertation just to let people know, why are African Americans anti-Trump? Because someone's surely going to get in my comments. They do it every single time, gang. And they tell me, do your research, Charles. You're sitting out here, you're a parrot for the left. You're this, that, and the third. You snowflakes, whatever. They got a million names for you, but they can't tell you the real situation of why African Americans historically should not be, at a certain point in time, should not be voting Republican. Somebody gonna get my comments and say, well, the Democrats were the racists at first. They're gonna go all the way back, and we're not talking about that. We're talking about after that happened, and it reversed parties, and black people became the Democrats. We're not talking about when the Democrats was the racists and it switched. We're not going into that. Somebody's gonna go into my comments and try to tell me, Charles, you're spreading misinformation. You need to do your research before you come out against the MAGA side and the Trump side. So before you get on here, you should leave politics alone, stick to the hip hop, stick to the rapping. So I pulled up a little something and said, basically, the African American gripes with the MAGA situation, we need to discuss that because people don't understand what's on the line. I keep telling y'all about they taking stuff out to museums, this, that, and the third. So let me just indulge me a second. I'm gonna read this little overview and we're gonna have a conversation, okay? The major gripes among the African-American voters with the MAGA movement and the Trump administration focus on the dismantling of diversity programs. That's the first thing. I tell you that all the time. I keep talking about this diversity. You people don't want to understand or don't care, or you do care and you're rocking with me. But a lot of people try to diminish that. But that is us. That is us. When they start talking about diversity, that is us. Yes, you're going to get somebody to say, well, Charles, the white women benefit. Sure they do. The Asian women too. But at the end of the day, that was for us. That's about us, gang. That's us. When they start talking diversity, that's us. Okay? And when they start trying to end it, that's us. But let me continue. The aggressive voting restrictions, polarizing racial rhetoric, and the persistent economic inequities that leave black households financially vulnerable. That is the key. Those are the key things. It's others, right? There's a lot of stuff going on with this administration to pinpoint, but those are the key things, right? Let me break it down a little bit more so we can have a little more stability on what's going on, because a lot of people, we will get black people in my comments trying to bend the narrative and make it like this guy is not so bad, and the thing that you're saying, the stuff you're saying, you can't prove, you can't quantify it, and it really is not real because this guy is not a racist. Okay, let me read this. Number one, their attacks on civil rights and diversity. A primary frustration among black voters is the Trump administration's dismantling of diversity, equity, and inclusion, the DAEI initiatives. Sweeping actions to end federal equity programs and restrict workplace diversity training are widely seen as rollbacks to racial progress and an attack on workplace safety. Gang, it's all planned out. They have this stuff. They've been planning this out for years to set things back to where they used to be. If you can't get a job, you can't feed your family. If you can't feed your family, you go out and do something stupid like commit a crime. You commit a crime, they put you right in prison, and now you're a slave again. If they can get as many of you back in there as they possibly can, then guess what? Oh shit, guess what's back? You know what day it is, right? Slavery. Okay, so end of the day, it's a lot going on. It's way deeper than you want to think that it is. You think that it's all nice and sweet and goody gumdrops. Well, it ain't. And they trying to make sure that it ain't. But let me continue. Number two, the voting rights and fair representation. MAGA-aligned efforts to impose stringent voting requirements and aggressively redraw electoral maps. This is important because when they redraw those maps, you can't win. Right? When they redraw the electoral maps and put this section over there, put Charlie next to Party and this guy over here and make them all bunch over here where their votes can't matter as much. Once they start doing that, they can win in districts that they would have never won before, gang. You don't understand. They're cheating. It's literally cheating, gang. Okay, but at the behest of this administration, which is what they came in for, right? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So at the end of the day, when they start to do all that stuff, it starts to affect you. Even those that proudly beat on their chest talking about they don't vote. I will never vote. They all evil, right? Yeah, well, guess what? That affects you and your kids, my G, when you don't vote and you proud of it. But let me continue. Voting requirements and aggressively redraw electoral maps are perceived as attempts to diminish black political power. Civil rights groups and voters frequently express alarm that these policies echo historical voter suppression and dilute minority representation in key congressional districts. I just said that in layman's terms, gang. They can take the districts that they would have never took before. That's why they redraw them. The electoral maps matter. And when they get coming and changing where this person vote, no, you ain't here this time. You voting down the street. You got to drive 2 blocks that way. You got to bring your ID too. It's a whole thing, gang. It's to cheat the system. At some point, your vote will be almost meaningless because they're going to line it up where it doesn't matter. Because they're going to keep winning the places that they need to win. That's all. They only need to win in certain places. They don't need everybody. They need some of them. Once they win some of them, who's in the majority? You got to understand what's going on. But they want to go rap for a bag because they selfish. 50 Cent and all these other guys. They don't care about none of that because they're getting their money. They got bills to pay. They got mansions that they got to pay. They got kids they trying to put through college. They don't care about you and your district. They don't give a shit about none of that. Let me continue. Number 3, economic disparities in the wealth gap. While the administration has touted historically low black employment rates, that's another thing. With black employment, listen, unemployment. They have unemployment rates, but we're not doing good, gang. Let me continue. Voters point out that the overarching MAGA economic agenda favors deregulation and tax cuts that disproportionately benefit the wealthy. So listen, they're saying that the unemployment rates are low, but these are trash jobs, gang. You got to understand, we're not doing well, right? As a whole, yes, it's a lot of people working and spending money in the economy, but a lot of these jobs are trash jobs. Okay? And they're kicking a lot of people out the government. It's a lot going on, gang. It's a lot going on. But let me continue. The failure to close the massive black-white wealth gap and struggles with inflation under the Trump administration has severely frustrated low and middle income black households, gang. It's a mess. It's a mess, but it's by design. And this administration doesn't care. They just want to put up fake numbers and throw up bullshit stats to make it look like they're doing good. They're not. This guy's approval rating is very low for a reason. But let me continue. Divisive rhetoric and historical erasure. Voters frequently cite President Trump's inflammatory language and his attacks on minority leaders as drivers of racial grievance. The core MAGA slogan, Make America Great Again, is viewed by many African Americans as a nostalgic call to an era of systemic racism, segregation, and lack of equal opportunity. And I will say this to the end of time. When was America great? Because whatever time they're going to point to is when we weren't great. We were doing bad. And the better it seemed for them, the worse it seemed for us. Okay? End of the day. There ain't no point where America was great that we was doing great with it, okay? We was always at the bottom, always getting used and abused and enslaved in some way, fashion, or another. And I could go on and about that, but let me push it to the fifth and final argument, but it's many arguments. Shifts in political alignment. The alienation of the black electorate has driven political mobilization and backlash. Okay, so what we're saying is a lot of stuff has shifted in the black electorate, and people are upset about it. We see a lot of people switching sides, this, that, and the third, because we can't sustain it when we aren't unified. And you don't even know what you're fighting for at some point. And you get these people like, why are you still voting that way? You get a lot of tactics that they're using to make people kind of feel uneasy and uncertain. And that's where we end up, where we don't have any unity whatsoever. Right? Didn't we just have the thing where all those black guys didn't get to go into the administration like they thought? They did all this work and all this campaign and all this leg on the ground, these boots on the ground, and they ass didn't even get invited into the house with these guys. So at the end of the day, we're seeing a lot of people being, for lack of a better word, tricked, right, into that space and not getting rewarded for it. But they still think that they got to push that agenda because they feel like something's coming out of it. At the end of the day, there's nothing coming out of it. They're not going to give you anything. They're going to use you like 50 Cent and others to prop them up, bring them out with the red hat on or whatever. It ain't even about the red hats no more. You just got to show up. And now your voice is being used to bring another 50,000 young black people onto that side to get nothing at the end of the day. Okay? So pretty much why we're mad about this 50 Cent thing is you're leading people to a side that could care less about us. And you're not even explaining yourself. You're not bringing anything to the table. You're not doing anything that's going to enrich us at all. You're performing old music with old ideas from 20 years ago. You're going to get up in front of this room of white people and rap this gangster rap shit, which is going to reinforce stereotypes that we're fighting against. Okay? As hip-hop, we're great on our side. We love hip-hop music because we understand it. But you're going to get up there with these rich white elitists and try to spit this gangster rap shit for them. Half of them not even going to understand, but they're going to hear the curse words, and they're going to hear you saying the N-word, and they're going to hear you talking about how you will rob somebody. And that's what they're going to walk out of there with. So, end of the day, man, we already know what 50 is about. We get it. This is nothing new to us. We understand that 50's goal is about 50. We got to start figuring out what we going to do, right? What we going to say and how we going to react to this, right? I don't really have much else to say about it. He's going to perform. It's going to be over. He's going to get his check. He's going to rub his elbows with whoever's in there, and he's going to be out of there. Meanwhile, we're going to be stuck still out here trying to figure out what's our next move. politically and otherwise. Because we're not unified and we don't take stance on anything for the most part. All right? End of the day, man, let me know what you think, man. Listen, CLBMG, head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. I got the links down, the affiliate links down below in my description. Hit the Temu link. Hit the other links that's down there. Support the channel. I got a Patreon account. You can join my Patreon for free. Just look up Challz Brown, all right? Every Wednesday night, we go live on the What Show. Me, TJ, and Fliz. Top in about 9:15, 9:30, all right? Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the hype, all right? Hit the notifications. I got merch down below. Lock in with the merch, man. There's a lot going on, man. Listen, I'm just working, man. I appreciate you being in this building, man. Last but not least, new music, Peanut Butter Tim's. That's off the What Project. Me, TJ, and Fliz, top in. Lock in, man. I'm out of here. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within. With the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin. With the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end. And then secured a spot with some goons and some kin. And then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking. And all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like Pats fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.